Yo, this situation just keeps getting crazier. The Warriors beat the Suns last night, dramatically altered their playoff chances because of some crazy stuff that went down around the NBA. In today's video, I'm going to break down all of it, how the Warriors have a shot at the third seed potentially, and where this Wild West race is going to end up. I'm Arthur Ballesteros. This is Warriors Digest. Hit subscribe right now if you want daily updates on Warriors news, commentary, analysis as we get into the playoffs. This thing is getting crazy. I'm like losing my mind. We're doing math, calculations, geometry, like everything all day to try to figure out where the Warriors are going to end up here. So let's get straight into this here. The Warriors, they beat the Suns 133-95. Exactly what you wanted to see. A super decisive victory against a team that is bad. There was no KD. That was great news. We need these easy wins. The best part, the bench got to play like the entire fourth quarter. Look at this here. Steph Curry went off again, did his thing, scoring 25 points. It was a great bounce back game after that really disappointing performance against the Rockets where he only scored 3 points. Super disappointing. Good to see that everything is right in Steph Curry land. 25 points, 9 boards, which was really cool to see. Let me bring this. I'm going to make it a little bigger on my side so I can see here because I'm blind. Also, getting 6 assists, just overall great game. Only played 26 minutes. That's huge. Podziemski continues to be a revelation here. Ever since he came back from that sore back that he had against the Brooklyn Nets, maybe, I don't know, what was it, like 3 weeks ago? He's just been on a tear, averaging 19 points a game over that short stretch there. 22 points again last night in only 22 minutes. The efficiency is off the charts, my friends. 4 of 6 from 3-point, 4 of 4 on his free throws. Just an outstanding performance. Again, he has been a real revelation. And Podziemski continues to step up and fill that void in scoring that we thought we were maybe going to get from Jimmy. But Jimmy, still doing his thing. He's contributing the way that Jimmy contributes. We're just learning now that Jimmy's contributions don't include scoring in bunches. And that's okay, as long as you have Brandin, who continues to be on a hot streak here for a while. It was Moses Moody who was rolling. He had a string of several consecutive 20-point plus games. Jonathan Kuminga was kind of rolling for a minute there as well. This is fine. This is how a deep team kind of fluctuates here in their scoring. And that's okay because we're winning, playing overall team ball. But look at this box score here. I just want you to take note of how many players played last night. 14 players were able to play because this was such a blowout. And it was, honestly, you could tell it was going to be a blowout early in the first quarter where the Warriors outscored them 37-24. And then they only allowed them to score 19 in the second quarter. So you knew this was going to be a night where the vets get significant rest. It was great to see Trayce Jackson-Davis. Do you remember when this man was starting for this team? Sorry, I'm pounding and move my camera here. Do you remember when he was starting? And this was the type of stuff he was doing. He was that lob threat. He now surpassed 100 dunks for the season, which is wild because I feel like we haven't even seen him on the court for like almost 2 months now. But this man used to start for us, always bringing energy, always the lob threat. Now, can he do anything else really right now? No. Can he be an interior defender right now? No. Does he make dumb mistakes? Yes. But that's okay. We got to see why, he's on the team because he's a great finisher around the basket. It's just really cool to see him be able to go out there. He got, 13 points, 8 boards in only 19 minutes. That is the production you want from like your 10th, 11th guy on the bench. Also, shout out to like Braxton Key, who got on the court for a little while. Didn't make a shot, for 7 minutes. That's all right. Jackson Rowe, who a lot of people are like, who is this? He kind of showed out a little bit, 2 of 2 on his field goal attempts. Cool to see. Pat Spenser played the entire fourth quarter. He got 10 points there, 4 assists, 2 boards. This is what we wanted to see. Garbage time. The bench, fill up some minutes. Look at the starters here. Steph played the most with 26 minutes. Jimmy only had to play 20 minutes. Dre, 20 minutes. Moses Moody, 18 minutes. Podziemski, 22. Perfect. perfect. What we want to see, because we know the Warriors need to win out in order to have their best shot at getting the highest seeding. Then a bunch of crazy stuff happened around the NBA as well, including one of the wildest games of the year. The Timberwolves, who I will get to in a minute here and how they affect our seeding in the standings here, blow a huge lead, historic loss last night. Look at this. They got outscored 40-13 by the Bucks in the fourth quarter. Exactly what we needed. They blew a 24-point lead. The Bucks win. This is perfect. If you saw the video before I made in, the games to watch for yesterday and who we needed to lose, two of them did. It was perfect. The Bucks beat the Timberwolves. Also, OKC, they beat the Lakers, the third seed, while still an infinitesimal percentage point. Third seed still in play. The Lakers currently hold that spot, but they lost, as I said they would, against OKC. Luka gets ejected. He's got some fans who are getting in his head here. This is great to see as they go in to play Dallas for this big revenge match that is coming up. We want to see the Lakers lose. They need to lose 2 out of 3. I'm going to explain the Warriors' path to potentially the third seed, but most probably the fourth seed in just a minute here. But this was amazing to see. Also around the NBA here, the Grizzlies, they do win. So we could have used a Grizzlies loss, especially against an Eastern Conference opponent that really doesn't have any bearing on us here. They don't. That's expected to see. The Grizzlies are now, I think they're 3-3 since they fired their head coach, Taylor Jenkins, which brings me to this, which was the gift of the day yesterday. Denver fires Mike Malone. With 3 games left in the season, the team clinging on to the 4th seed, they fired their coach. Now, Warriors fans, you might remember Mike Malone. He was an assistant in the early days of the Warriors becoming that championship team. I think that he was, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure he was part of Mark Jackson's staff to begin with, stayed on with Kerr, I believe, for at least one of those championships early on, the 2014-2015 season, I think, and then went over to Denver there. But he's somebody that Warriors fans know well from about 10 years ago. Just wild to see what happened. Just the reports that are coming out, just an absolutely toxic environment in the locker room in Denver because of his hard-nosed style. Apparently Jokic was kind of the only one who got along with him, and Jamal Murray, that there was some preferential treatment there. The rest of the players didn't like it. You don't see stuff like this. But as a Warriors fan, you're rejoicing. This is exactly what we want to see. Other teams in absolute turmoil ahead of us. We saw what happened with the Grizzlies when they fired their coach. They went only 3-3 so far since then. The Nuggets have lost 4 in a row. Unfortunately, they're not losing more ground, but they could be. Who knows what's going to happen here? This is pretty wild. So let's take a look at this slate here. So huge games tonight. LA and Dallas. That is going to be huge. I don't have a lot of faith in the Mavericks beating LA in this revenge game, although Anthony Davis is going to be back for this. Right now, I believe that the Lakers are a 3.5 point favorite here. So not a huge spread. So Vegas is saying that this can kind of go any way we would love. You are a Dallas Mavericks fan tonight. Also, you are going to be a Sacramento Kings fan for the night. I know it's hard for us Warriors fans, but we have to see Denver continue to lose here. Also, as much as it pains me, especially what just happened and how much of disgraceful basketball they played, the Houston Rockets, we are Houston Rockets fans tonight against the Clippers. We need the Clippers to lose at all costs. So tonight, to refresh, you're a Dallas fan, you're a Sacramento fan, and you're a Houston fan. Those are who we are rooting for in order to gain some in the standings here. Now, I ran the math, looked at everything here. Here's our best and worst case scenarios after last night. So what we needed to happen was we needed the Bucks to beat the Timberwolves. We needed our Warriors to beat the Suns, and we need the Kings to beat the Nuggets tomorrow. This is how it affects our standing. This is the best case, worst case scenario here. So far, we've checked off 2 of the 3 boxes on the best case scenario here. Look at this. Warriors still do have, if the Kings beat the Nuggets, there's still a 12% shot at the 3 seed. A lot still has to happen, and we don't control our own destiny with that. The Lakers pretty much have to lose 2 of their remaining 3 games in order for us to get in there. So many things have to happen. But what I'm saying is, there's still a chance. Still a chance. Now, I don't want to see the Warriors face the Lakers in the first round because, I do give some credence to the conspiracy around the NBA refs. We've seen it. We've seen it as Warriors fans against Steph Curry for 15 years now. We know that things are going to be a little bit skewed in the favor of the Lakers. You got LeBron, 40 years old, kind of on his last title run here. You've got Luka over there, blah, blah, blah. The NBA wants nothing more than the Lakers to get in there. So I don't want to see them in the first round whatsoever. But, there's still a lot of other scenarios that could play out here. One of the most likely is that the Warriors end up facing the Nuggets, which, despite the matchup against Jokic, I am rooting for the Warriors to play the Nuggets. I think that team is in turmoil. Jamal Murray still may be out here. You've got a coaching change. It's just chaos in Denver right now. So a good shot there. But best case scenario right now, the things that we're looking mostly at are the 4th or 5th seed, potentially, with everything going on, as things are shaking out there. So let's take a look here. Now, this is exactly, let me bring this up. Where did it go? I'm going to break down exactly what needs to happen for the Warriors in this playoff chase here. So let's bring this up here. So this is where it all stands right now. So first off, with the Grizzlies, good news here. We've already clinched that tiebreaker against them, meaning that if we both win out the remaining games, we automatically stay ahead. That's cool. Now, the Timberwolves, they pretty much just sealed their fate with last night's historic collapse after they blew that huge lead to the Bucks. They are pretty much out of the race for the top 6 spot. And we're currently a game ahead. We hold the tiebreaker, so they're basically not a concern right now. The Clippers, they are a major concern because they have the tiebreaker already over us. That's why you see them in 4th place despite having the same record. Here's the catch, though. If we win all of our remaining games, we'll have to beat them directly on the last game of the season, making their overall record worse than ours. So essentially, we still control our own destiny against the Clippers. But here's the tricky part. The Nuggets, they've clinched their tiebreaker over us. So if we win out and the Nuggets win out, we're locked behind them at the 5th seed. But the Nuggets, they're struggling badly again. Their remaining games are against the Kings, the Grizzlies, and Houston. Those are not easy wins by any means, although Houston, since they're playing them on the last day of the season, probably going to be resting a lot of their starters because they just don't have a lot to play for. They're already locked into that 2nd seed. So what about a wild 3-team tie scenario? Relax. There is no scenario where any team that we've already beaten in tiebreakers jumps ahead of us, so we are good there. Now, can we still snag the 3 seed? Technically, yes, it's going to be tough. Like I said, the Warriors are going to need to win every remaining game. The Lakers are going to have to lose probably 2 of their last 3. Now, the Lakers are playing the Rockets, Blazers, and the Mavericks. So, it's not a cakewalk. It's not like they're playing the Hornets and the Jazz or something like that. It's a long shot, but technically there is still a hope. Bottom line is, if we win out and the Nuggets drop just 1 game, we're locked into the 4 seed. It's as simple as that. That's what we want to see. So much to be watching for. Tonight is going to be another epic, wild night in the NBA. Leave your comment. Where do you think the Warriors finish in the seeding after tonight? Are we going to finally create some space? Who else is going to help us out? Will the Mavericks beat the Lakers? Are we going to see a shuffling here in the standing? I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind over all that. I've been doing so much math, so much probability, so algebra, equation, geometry, all of it, trying to figure out how the Warriors get into the 3rd seed. It's possible. My bet is they're going to finish 5th, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Let's play the Nuggets. Let's roll over that team in turmoil right now. We are clicking again. I'm out of breath, so I got to go. You let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I will talk to you after the game. Peace.